Did you know something as simple as a vitamin deficiency could be the hidden cause behind nearly 90% of falls and leg pain in seniors? And here's the shocker, most doctors never even test for it. Imagine that, something so easy to fix could be the reason behind so much suffering and fear of losing your independence. It's more common than you think, and it's affecting you or someone you love right now. But here's the good news, you don't have to accept it. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to reveal could change everything, not just for your legs, but for your whole sense of stability and confidence. And the best part? You can start fixing it in just a few minutes a day. If balance and mobility matter to you, or you're worried about falling, hit that like button so we can share this crucial information with more people, and make sure to subscribe for more real, practical advice that you can start using today. Have you ever caught yourself holding onto the railing, just a little longer than usual, as you walk down the stairs? Or maybe you're walking through the grocery store, and suddenly, your legs feel like they're about to give way? You try to take that next step, but your knee or ankle feels weak, unsteady, and like it might collapse at any moment. It's not just getting older, is it? We've all been told that it's a part of aging, that this is what happens when we get older. But deep down, you know it doesn't have to be this way. The truth is, your body's ability to stay balanced and keep your legs strong is not just something that fades with age. It's tied to something much more specific and preventable. You might feel like you're on the edge of a fall, like every step could be your last moment of stability, but this isn't just about being old. It's about a hidden issue in your body that's affecting your muscles and balance. It's frustrating. Scary even. I hear from so many people who feel like they've lost control over their legs, like one wrong move could change everything. If you've ever had that gut-wrenching feeling, wondering if your legs will hold you steady, you're not alone. And this isn't just about feeling weak, it's about a very real fear of falling and losing your independence. You're not imagining it. It's a real problem, and it's more common than you think. But it's also something you can take action on. If you felt that wobble in your legs, that jolt of panic when your body doesn't cooperate, I want to hear your story. How has this been affecting your life? Let's share our experiences, so we can all move forward together. Drop a comment below and let me know if you've ever had a moment like that, where your body didn't listen, and it scared you. You're not alone in this struggle. I want to share a story with you about someone I worked with. Let's call her Carol for privacy. Carol had always been an independent woman. In her late 60s, she was someone who loved to walk her dog, do some gardening, and visit her friends. She was active, vibrant, and full of life. But over time, things began to change. She started to notice something wasn't quite right with her legs. At first, it was subtle, just a slight wobble here and there. But soon, walking became a struggle. Every step felt unsteady. Every time she moved, she feared she might lose her balance. She began to rely more and more on furniture or railings, anything that would help keep her steady. She avoided going out in public because she was scared that if she did, she might fall. But it didn't stop there. One day, Carol was walking up the stairs in her house. It wasn't a huge misstep, and she wasn't rushing. But as she reached the top, something terrifying happened. Her legs just didn't respond. It wasn't a trip. It wasn't a slip. She simply couldn't trust her body. Her legs buckled beneath her, and she collapsed onto the stairs. She wasn't hurt physically, but emotionally, it was a different story. The fear, the panic, it was overwhelming. She hadn't been able to trust her legs for months, and now, she didn't know if she ever would again. When she went to her doctor, she was told, "It's just part of getting older. It happens to everyone. You'll have to learn to live with it." But Carol didn't accept that answer. This wasn't just aging. Something was wrong, and she was determined to figure it out. That's when she came to me. Through our sessions, we dug deeper into Carol's health. We looked at her symptoms, her lifestyle, and her history. What we uncovered was a common but often overlooked issue, a vitamin deficiency that was causing her legs to feel weak and unsteady. Carol's legs weren't weak because of age, they were weak because her body wasn't getting the nutrients it needed to function properly. Once we started addressing the deficiency, things started to change. Slowly but surely, Carol regained her strength and confidence. Her balance improved, and she no longer feared every step she took. She even started walking her dog again, and for the first time in months, she felt free, not bound by the constant fear of falling. Carol's experience is a story I hear often. It's not about getting older. It's about something much more fixable. Something as simple as a vitamin deficiency could be the reason behind the pain and instability so many seniors face. The good news is, this can be treated. You don't have to live in fear. You can take control of your body again, and it doesn't take much to get started. So, what's really going on? It's a vitamin D deficiency. You've probably heard of it, but what most people don't realize is how crucial vitamin D is for your muscles and bones. Think of vitamin D like the fuel that powers your muscles and helps them move smoothly. Without enough of it, your muscles, especially in your legs, become weak and struggle to function properly. It's not just about preventing bone fractures, it's about muscle strength and stability. Vitamin D is responsible for regulating calcium, which is vital for muscle contraction and movement. When vitamin D levels drop, your muscles lose the strength and coordination they need to keep you steady on your feet. Imagine a car running on empty. At first, it might still go, but eventually, it starts to sputter, lose power, and then stop. Your body is the same way. Without sufficient vitamin D, your muscles begin to falter. Those wobbly steps, the feeling that your legs might give out at any moment? That's the result of weak, underperforming muscles that aren't getting the necessary nutrients to do their job. And here's the kicker, the majority of people, including many healthcare professionals, overlook the connection between vitamin D deficiency and muscle function. They focus on things like calcium intake for bone health but fail to realize that muscles need vitamin D to remain strong and responsive. For seniors, this becomes an even bigger issue. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at producing and processing vitamin D from sunlight. The deficiency is more common than you might think, especially for those who don't get enough sun exposure or have certain dietary restrictions. And the problem is often subtle at first. You might notice small signs, like the occasional stumble or feeling off balance. But over time, it can spiral into a bigger issue, leading to falls and significant leg pain. The good news is that this is fixable. With the right supplementation and lifestyle changes, you can restore your vitamin D levels and, as a result, regain muscle strength, improve balance, and reduce the risk of falls. You don't have to accept instability as a part of aging. It's about addressing the root cause and getting your body back on track. Step 1. Vitamin D supplementation, daily every day. Millions of older adults silently battle muscle weakness, aching legs, and the constant fear of falling, without realizing that a simple nutrient could be the missing piece. That nutrient is vitamin D. Adding a daily vitamin D supplement is one of the most effective ways to support your muscles and bones as you age. For most seniors, a dose of 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day is recommended, though your exact needs may vary, so it's important to consult with your doctor first. But why is this so important? Vitamin D works behind the scenes in your body like a conductor leading an orchestra. It tells your muscles when to fire, helps calcium absorb properly into your bones, and strengthens the very foundation of your movement. Without enough of it, the entire system becomes unstable, especially in your legs and hips, where stability is most critical for avoiding falls. Many people assume they're getting enough from food or occasional sunshine. But as we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight, and our digestion becomes less effective at absorbing it from meals. That's why supplementation can be such a game changer. It helps close the gap, quietly but powerfully. Consider this. One study found that seniors with low vitamin D levels were over twice as likely to fall compared to those with healthy levels. The impact is not minor, it's life-changing. And don't worry, vitamin D supplements are inexpensive, easy to take, and widely available. Look for vitamin D3, which is the form your body absorbs best. If you prefer liquid drops, capsules, or chewables, there's a version out there that fits your routine. Start with consistency. Set a reminder on your phone or pair it with your morning coffee. You're not just taking a supplement, you're reinforcing your body's strength, protecting your independence, and actively reducing your risk of a debilitating fall. Small habit, massive reward. Step 2. Sunlight exposure, 15 to 30 minutes a day. Imagine improving your strength and stability, not by lifting weights or taking another pill, but simply by stepping outside into the sunlight. That's the quiet, healing power of nature. And for seniors, it can be a game changer. Sunlight is the most natural and efficient way for your body to produce vitamin D, a nutrient that plays a critical role in maintaining strong muscles, healthy bones, and good balance. If you've been struggling with leg pain, stiffness, or fear of falling, it might not be just age. It could be that your body simply isn't getting enough of this essential vitamin. And the best part? You can start correcting that with nothing more than a few minutes outdoors. Here's how it works. When UVB rays from sunlight hit your skin, a chemical reaction begins. This reaction converts cholesterol in your skin into vitamin D3, the biologically active form your body uses to strengthen bones, maintain balance, and support the nervous system. It's like your body is manufacturing its own medicine, no pharmacy needed. But here's something many people miss: you need to expose your skin directly to the sun. That means your arms, legs, or face need to be uncovered. Sitting by a window or under fluorescent light doesn't count. Glass blocks UVB rays, and artificial lighting doesn't provide the right spectrum. The ideal window for sun exposure is usually between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., when the sun is highest and the rays are most effective for vitamin D production. For most people, just 15 to 30 minutes is enough, but this varies based on several key factors. Skin tone: the more melanin you have, the longer your exposure needs to be. Darker skin naturally blocks more UVB rays, which can reduce vitamin D production. Age: as we get older, our skin becomes less efficient at making vitamin D. A senior's skin may produce only a quarter of the vitamin D that younger skin does. Geography: if you live far from the equator, the sun's angle may not be strong enough in winter months to trigger any vitamin D production at all. Air pollution and sunscreen: both can reduce your skin's exposure to UVB rays. So what's the solution? Start by making outdoor sunlight a daily ritual. You don't have to sunbathe. You don't even have to break a sweat. Just find a moment in your routine: a walk after breakfast, sitting on a bench with a book, tending to your garden, or even just sipping your tea on the porch. Expose your arms and legs for at least 15 minutes if your skin is lighter, closer to 30 minutes if your skin is darker. You can rotate which areas you expose depending on the weather and your comfort. Remember, no sunscreen on those areas during that short time, but stay sun safe if you plan to be out longer. Even on cloudy days, you'll still get some benefit. UVB rays can penetrate clouds. And while winter might limit your ability to rely solely on sunlight, every minute you can get counts toward maintaining your vitamin D stores. Bonus tip: combine your sunlight exposure with movement, like a short walk or gentle stretching, and you'll compound the benefits for both body and mood. In the end, sunlight isn't just about warmth or brightness. For aging bodies, it's a powerful, natural medicine that helps restore what time and lifestyle have slowly taken away. And perhaps most importantly, it's free. It's accessible. And it connects you to the rhythm of life, helping you feel stronger, more energized, and more grounded every day. You don't need a perfect routine. You just need to step outside and start. Step 3. Vitamin D-rich foods. If sunlight is the most natural way to get vitamin D, food is the most overlooked. But for many seniors, especially those who stay indoors, live in colder climates, or take medications that interfere with absorption, diet becomes a critical source of this essential nutrient. Let's talk about what that looks like in real life. You don't need complicated recipes or expensive ingredients. You need smart choices. Here are the most effective, vitamin D-rich foods you can add to your meals, starting today. 1. Fatty fish: salmon, mackerel, sardines, and tuna are some of the most concentrated natural sources of vitamin D. Just a 3.5-ounce serving of cooked salmon, for example, can contain more than half of your daily needs. Try adding grilled or canned versions to salads, sandwiches, or a warm soup. 2. Fortified foods: many everyday items are now fortified with vitamin D, meaning manufacturers have added it in to support bone and muscle health. Look for fortified milk, dairy and non-dairy like almond, soy, or oat milk, orange juice, breakfast cereals, and even some brands of yogurt. Always check the label to make sure vitamin D is included. 3. Egg yolks: the yolk of the egg, not the white, contains vitamin D. One large egg yolk has about 40 IU of vitamin D. While that may seem small, eggs are easy to add to your daily routine, boiled with breakfast, scrambled into a veggie stir-fry, or baked into a casserole. 4. Beef liver: not everyone's favorite, but liver is a nutritional powerhouse. A 3-ounce serving of cooked beef liver contains a solid dose of vitamin D along with iron and other crucial vitamins. If you like it, it's an excellent way to boost your levels naturally. 5. Cheese: especially fortified varieties. While regular cheese only contains a small amount of vitamin D, some brands are fortified specifically for senior nutrition. Check with your local grocery store or ask your pharmacist which ones are best suited for older adults. But here's the key, it's not about perfection, it's about consistency. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet. Simply adding 1 or 2 of these foods daily can make a major difference over time. And because vitamin D is fat soluble, pairing it with a little healthy fat, like olive oil or avocado, helps your body absorb it better. Try creating a simple weekly plan. Grilled salmon with vegetables on Monday, a fortified yogurt parfait on Wednesday, scrambled eggs with cheese on Friday. Make vitamin D a quiet, steady part of your routine, not an afterthought. Over time, your body will begin to respond. You may feel steadier, less achy, and more energized. That's your body thanking you for giving it what it truly needs. Step 4. UV-exposed mushrooms. If you're seeking a natural, plant-based way to increase your vitamin D, and you're not a fan of supplements or long hours in the sun, there's one unexpected option most people overlook: mushrooms. But not just any mushrooms. We're talking about UV-exposed mushrooms, a fascinating, whole food source of vitamin D that works almost exactly like our skin does in the sun. Here's how it works. Unlike other fruits or vegetables, mushrooms have a unique ability. They contain a compound called ergosterol, which transforms into vitamin D2 when exposed to ultraviolet, UV, light. In simple terms, mushrooms can make their own vitamin D when they're placed under the right kind of light, just like your skin produces vitamin D3 when exposed to the sun. But most mushrooms you find in the grocery store? They're grown in dark, indoor environments, meaning they contain almost no vitamin D. That's why you need to look specifically for UV-treated mushrooms. These are mushrooms that have either been exposed to natural sunlight or treated with UVB light during or after harvest, and the difference is dramatic. A single 3.5-ounce serving of these mushrooms can contain 400 to 1000 IU of vitamin D, giving your body a powerful, natural boost, without relying on supplements or pills. And this isn't just a number on a label. For older adults, especially those who are vegan, lactose intolerant, or have trouble absorbing vitamin D from traditional foods, this one food can make a real difference. It supports muscle strength, improves bone health, and directly lowers your risk of falls and fractures. Here's what to look for when shopping: packages labeled UV treated, vitamin D enhanced, or sun-exposed varieties like White Button, Portobello, Cremini, or Maitake that mention UV exposure. Organic brands or fresh farmers market finds where you can ask the grower directly if you're already cooking with mushrooms. This is a simple upgrade, one that doesn't require any big changes to your diet or routine. And if you're not a mushroom fan, you don't have to eat them plain. Try blending them into soups and stews. They add richness and depth. Stir fries with garlic and onions, omelets, scrambled eggs, or frittatas, pasta sauces, chopped small or blended in ground meat dishes like meatloaf or burgers for added texture. Here's a tip that can make a big difference: lightly cook them in olive oil or another healthy fat. This helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamin D more efficiently. And when paired with other vitamin D-rich foods like eggs, fortified milk, or salmon, the benefits multiply. Many people think of mushrooms as a garnish or background ingredient. But for seniors, they can become a core part of the solution to restoring balance, easing pain, and building strength from the inside out. Because sometimes, what your body needs isn't more pills, more appointments, or more stress. Sometimes, healing starts with what's on your plate. And something as humble as a mushroom might just be the missing piece. Step 5. Regular vitamin D testing. When it comes to staying steady on your feet, relieving muscle pain, and aging with confidence, one of the most powerful, yet overlooked tools at your disposal is simple: a vitamin D test. You might be taking supplements, eating healthy, and spending time in the sun. But unless you know your actual vitamin D levels, you're still operating in the dark. And here's the surprising part: many seniors are significantly deficient without knowing it. Why testing matters more than guessing: as we age, our ability to produce and absorb vitamin D declines. The skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. The kidneys and liver, which help activate the vitamin, may function more slowly. Certain medications, digestive issues, like IBS or Crohn's, or even being overweight can interfere with absorption. And then there's the myth that I go outside every day, so I must be fine. But even if you spend time outdoors, factors like cloud cover, sunscreen, long sleeves, or hats, darker skin tone, which naturally filters more UVB time of year, especially winter months. Living in northern latitudes can all drastically reduce the amount of vitamin D your body actually produces. So while your habits might be good, they may not be enough, especially if your body isn't processing vitamin D efficiently in the first place. The simple test that reveals the truth, a blood test called the 25-hydroxy vitamin D test, often written as 25OD, is the most accurate way to measure your body's current vitamin D level. It only takes a few minutes and can be done through your primary care doctor with the geriatric specialist, or even using an at-home test kit, though it's best to go over the results with your doctor. What do the numbers mean? Results are measured in nanograms per milliliter, Ing per milliliter, below 20 nanograms per milliliter, deficient 20 to 30 nanograms per milliliter, insufficient 30 to 50 nanograms per milliliter, generally adequate 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter, often recommended for seniors focused on preventing falls, muscle weakness, and bone thinning. Once you know your number, your doctor can help guide next steps, whether that's adjusting your supplement dosage, recommending a different form of vitamin D, such as D3, or testing for absorption issues if your levels don't improve despite efforts. How often should you test? At least once per year, typically during your annual checkup every 3 to 6 months if you're correcting a deficiency, changing medications, or making major diet or lifestyle changes. More frequently if you have osteoporosis, diabetes, kidney issues, or autoimmune conditions. Here's something else most people don't realize: too much vitamin D can be harmful. Oversupplementing, especially with high doses over long periods, can lead to vitamin D toxicity, causing excessive calcium buildup in the blood, hypercalcemia. That can trigger nausea, confusion, kidney problems, and even heart rhythm issues. Testing protects you from both extremes. It gives you the ability to tailor your intake safely and effectively, so you're not doing too little, or too much. If you're struggling with leg pain, low energy, or balance problems, vitamin D testing offers answers and direction. Because when you know the root of the problem, you can take targeted, confident action to fix it. It's a 10-minute test. The impact could last a lifetime. Ask for it. Because knowledge isn't just power, it's prevention. Just a few weeks after Carol's doctor discovered her vitamin D levels were dangerously low, everything began to shift. They started her on a simple plan: daily supplementation, safe time in the sun, and changes in her diet. There were no drastic treatments, no expensive therapies, just targeted, consistent steps to restore what her body was missing. At first, Carol was skeptical. She'd spent months believing the leg pain and instability were just part of aging. She'd stopped walking with her friends, avoided the stairs, and clung to walls in her own home. "I felt like I was fading," she said. "Like I wasn't safe in my own body." But then, the pain started easing. She stopped grabbing the handrail every time she moved. She told her daughter one morning, "I forgot to be afraid today." That same week, she returned to her morning walk, the one she hadn't done in nearly a year. Slow at first, but steady. And with a smile that said, "I'm back." Her daughter later said, "It's like I got my mom back. She's laughing again, moving again, living again." This is what happens when your body gets what it truly needs. This story isn't just about a vitamin. It's about freedom. About confidence. About not letting age write your story for you. The truth is, vitamin D is more than just a number on a lab report. It's a foundation, one that affects your bones, your muscles, and your sense of control. Without it, everything begins to feel off. Your legs don't cooperate. Your balance disappears. One small misstep can turn into a devastating fall. But here's the good news: you're not powerless. With the right action, your story can change, just like Carol's did. Have you ever had a fall? Or a near fall? That woke you up to something deeper going on? Maybe it made you feel uncertain about your next step, literally or emotionally. Share your story in the comments. You never know who you might help by speaking up. Someone else might be feeling alone in this, and your words could be the moment they feel seen. If this resonated with you, and you want more guidance on how to stay strong, balanced, and independent as you age, tap subscribe right now. Don't wait until it's too late. Aging well doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. And this is a choice to take your power back. You're not broken. You're not finished. You just need the right support, and you're already on the path. You've got this.